Hello, sports fans. It is Tuesday, May the 7th, the year 2013, and as usual, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Before we do our weekly Major League Baseball State of the Union, let's go through some scores of note from last night. Let's start in the NBA playoffs. How about the Chicago Bulls again? The Chicago Bulls go into Miami and beat the Heat and take a 1-0 lead in this series. I am running out of superlatives to describe not only the Bulls, but the coaching job Tom Thibodeau has done. The Bulls once again shorthanded last night. I mean, still no Derrick Rose, we know that. Dang didn't play because he's sick. Noah's still limping around. The whole roster has had some sort of illness. They just got off a tough series against Brooklyn where they won in 7 games. The Heat have been off a week. The Heat are the best team in basketball. They've been the best team for 2 years. And what do the Bulls do? They go into Miami and beat the Heat. Unbelievable job by the Bulls. Heat very, very rusty last night. I mean, I thought they were going to still pull away at the end. Bulls led by about 6 after 1 quarter. Game was tied at the half. Heat were up 4 going into the 4th quarter. And you figure the Heat are going to run away with this in the 4th quarter. The Bulls got to be out of steam. And sure enough, the Bulls lay the wood on the Heat in the 4th quarter. And the Bulls just pull away and beat the Heat. I was totally shocked by this game. Never thought the Bulls were going to pull this out. I mean, unbelievable job by Chicago. How good of a coach is Tom Thibodeau? To me, the mark of a good coach is getting the most out of your players. He is squeezing every ounce of everything out of this team. What a tremendous job Tom Thibodeau is doing. And how about Noah? Noah is out there not 100%. He is a guy that is also giving you like 150% hustle plays, rebounds. He's doing it on both ends of the floor, blocking shots. Tremendous effort by Noah. And Nate Robertson playing really nice basketball. Another nice game for him last night. So the Bulls grab a 1-0 lead. Very impressed by Chicago. Now listen, let's calm down. I still think Miami's going to win the series. I still think they're going to do it rather easily. I don't think it even goes 7 games. I think the Heat still win this series easily. But what a job by Chicago. And the Heat, that week off they had, I mean, it may have helped them as far as rest-wise, getting Wade healthy, but they looked lethargic. They looked rusty yesterday, Miami. I mean, Bosh had a terrible game. Wade didn't take a free throw. LeBron James, 24 points. That's not his usual game. The Heat were asleep at the wheel last night. Look for them to come back in a big way in Game 2. I still think the Heat win. I still think they do it rather easily. I don't even think the series goes 7. But Chicago, I mean, what a performance. I mean, what a job they're doing. What a tremendous job getting that game last night by the Bulls. Running out of superlatives to describe the Chicago Bulls and Tom Thibodeau. They get the win last night. They go up 1-0. Also, last night in San Antonio, the Spurs beat Golden State in 2 overtimes. Spurs go up 1-0 in this series. Very, very nice game here. You know, it's funny, I wasn't too high on these games yesterday, and when you go in with low expectations, you get surprised sometimes. And you see why they have to play the games. I mean, I didn't think this game was going to be that close either. Curry, another unbelievable job by him. 44 points for Curry, even though Golden State loses. Ginobili hits the big 3-pointer in the second overtime, and the Spurs survive and beat Golden State. I'll tell you, Golden State is playing a lot better than they did the end of the year. Golden State this year started off very strong and faded at the end of the year. They have really picked up their play in these playoffs. Curry's been out of sight. Thompson's been playing well. Barnes been playing well. The big man Bogut finally playing well. They do get David Lee back, although he did not play in last night's game. Like what I see overall from Golden State. I still think this is San Antonio's series, though. They get the win last night. San Antonio also had a huge break, just like Miami, so San Antonio was probably a little rusty. I think San Antonio gets the job done in this series, but what a spectacular game last night. Spurs win in double overtime on the big Ginobili 3. So those 2 series are 1-0. That's where we are in the NBA as far as last night. As far as your NHL last night, the Boston Bruins went into Toronto and beat the Maple Leafs, so the Bruins lead that series 2-1. That was the first home playoff game for the Maple Leafs in like forever, so the crowd was really fired up, but the Bruins get the job done. They are up 2-1 in that series. Rangers with a nice win last night. The Rangers get on the board. They are still trailing the series 2-1, but the Rangers are back in the series, and they have the next game at Madison Square Garden. It's funny, the Rangers kept taking the lead lead last night and kept giving it back. Capitals kept tying the game, but the Rangers finally do get the game-winning goal and hold on to win. So nice job by the New York Rangers last night. They are back in the series. Also last night, Detroit beat Anaheim, so that series is tied 2-2. Back to Anaheim we go there. And also, LA had a big rally last night. They were down big early to St. Louis, so LA comes back and wins. That series is also 2-2, so really tight series here. I mean, a bunch of tight series. LA had a nice comeback last night. I thought they were dead in the water. They were down 2-0 in like the first few minutes of this game. Come roaring back. They tie that series up at 2. So that's kind of where you are in your NHL last night. As far as your Major League Baseball yesterday, White Sox beat Kansas City, Atlanta beat Cincinnati, Cleveland beat Oakland, Boston beat Minnesota, Toronto beat Tampa Bay, Cubs beat Texas, Arizona beat the stumbling and bumbling Dodgers, San Diego beat Miami, and Philadelphia beat San Francisco. So that's kind of where you are as far as your scores from last night. Without further ado, let's go to our weekly Major League Baseball State of the Union. I'm going to start in the American League. We're going to go, each division, worst to first. You know the whole deal. Records, a little synopsis. Let's start in the American League East. Let's start with last place, Toronto. They are 12-21. It is getting ugly very early in Toronto. They booed Dickey off the mound the other day. Reyes is still out. Toronto is an absolute mess. A lot of people are calling for the manager to be fired, for the GM to be fired, for all sorts of changes to the team. 12-21 in a tough division. I mean, they're already 10 games behind the Red Sox for the division. Awful job by Toronto. Getting ugly early for them. Tampa Bay's in 4th place. They're 14-17. Price is pitching better. We know they can pitch, but can they get any offense? Other than Longoria, can they hit? So far, no. Number 3, Baltimore, 19-13. Played 20 of the first 32 on the road, so they're going to have a lot of games in the friendly confines of Camden Yards. A lot of home games coming up for Baltimore. They've done a nice job early in the season. Number 2, the New York Yankees. They are 18-12. They've had the opposite schedule of the Orioles. Yankees have had a lot of home games. Now they play 16 in the next 22 on the road, hoping to get some of these injured players back soon. And the Boston Red Sox in first place, 21-11. Lester pitching well. Buchholz pitching well. We'll keep an eye on that whole spitball incident with Buchholz. Ortiz back hitting home runs. It's funny, Big Papi still can hit the long ball. Even at his advanced age, he still can hit the long ball. Boston, very surprising this year. They are in first place, doing a really nice job. That is your American League East. Over to your American League Central we go. Last place, the Chicago White Sox. Adam Dunn has the second worst average in the American League at 146. I mean, what an atrocious average. We know he can hit home runs, but Adam Dunn, can you hit at least 230 maybe? 146, awful. Number 4, the Minnesota Twins. They're 13-15. I mean, they're not as bad as they were last year. They're slightly competitive. They're still not a good baseball team, though. Number 3, Cleveland, 15-14. Good week for Cleveland. I mean, they scored a lot of runs last week. 15-14, played really nice baseball. So a nice week by Cleveland last week. We'll see if they can keep it up. Number 2, Kansas City. They're 17-11. 11 come from behind wins this year. Very nice stat for Kansas City. 6 games over 500. Can't complain about the way the Royals are playing. And number 1, Detroit, to me, the class of the Central. They're 19-11. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They're finally starting to play ball after they were, stumbling and bumbling for a while. Detroit starting to play like we thought they would. I mean, come on. They got Verlander. They got Cabrera. They got Fielder. They are the class of this division. They should win this division. That is your Central in the American League. Over to your American League West. Last place, the Houston Astros, 8-24. As bad as we thought, their earned run average as a team over 6. Over 6. Oh my goodness, that's one of the worst stats in the history of baseball. Not going to win many games like that. Astros 8-24. Number 4, the LA Angels, 11-20. I mean, Pujols and Hamilton bad. I mean, they better start winning soon. I mean, they're already 8 games behind Texas for the division. They're 9 games under 500. You wonder if Mike Scioscia is gonna survive this. Now, the Angels, if they don't make the playoffs this year, I think that's 4 straight years they haven't made the playoffs. And the Angels spent a lot of money in the offseason. Again, 11-20, not getting the job done at Hamilton. What's going on with you? Are you going to wake up? You had a tremendous season last year. What are you doing? Pujols is still hurt. The Angels digging themselves a big hole. Number 3, Seattle. They're 15-18. Seattle's got a lot of good young pitchers in the minors. Trouble is they're not ready for the major leagues yet. Seattle also has a lot of trouble scoring runs, 15 and 18. I mean, you can't expect much more from Seattle. Number 2, Oakland, 18 and 15. I mean, to me, Oakland is doing a nice job considering a lot of their guys are on the disabled list. Oakland's got a litany of people on the disabled list. They're 18 and 15. They have slipped a little bit since their hot start. Overall, I do like Oakland. They need to start getting some of their players healthy. And number 1 in the West, the Texas Rangers, 20 and 12. Darvish leads the league in strikeouts. They lose Hamilton. They're still in first place. I like what I see from Texas. I mean, they have a really, really nice team. I think Texas is for sure a playoff team. So that's kind of where you are in the American League. As far as your National League, let's start in the National League East. Last place in the East, the Miami Marlins. They're 10 and 23. First winning week was last week. So they had a decent week last week, but still, we don't expect much from Miami. I mean, how many games do you expect them to win? Did have a decent week last week, though. Number 4, the New York Mets. They're 12 and 16. Mets are only batting .233, but they're second in runs scored. So they do hit with runners in scoring position, but overall, you can't expect much from this Met team. They have a couple decent young pitchers. Harvey's good. Nice is good. We'll see if they bring Wheeler up. Mets need a lot of work, though. This is not going to be their year. Philadelphia, 15 and 18. Roy Halladay, I mean, he's on the DL with the shoulder problems. He's pitching lousy. We'll see if he can get back and pitch, decently at all. You got Howard struggling, although he still hits home runs. Philadelphia, this is a tough division. I don't want to write the Phillies off because they still have Lee, Hamels, Utley, Howard. Maybe you get Halladay back. They always make a run, the Phillies, it seems. Don't want to write them off, but this is a tough division. Atlanta, Washington, very, very tough for the Phillies to make some noise this year, but I won't count them out. Number 2, Washington, 17 and 15. Jordan Zimmerman pitching well. Overall, I've been a little disappointed with Washington. It's still early in the year. They should be better than 17 and 15. They're better than that. Number 1, the Atlanta Braves. They're 19 and 12. Not only do they hit good, they pitch good. Can say nothing bad about Atlanta. Jay Upton's been on absolute fire this year. Really nice ball club, the Atlanta Braves. They're in first place right now in the National League East. Over to your National League Central we go. Last place, the Chicago Cubs. They're 12 and 20. The Cubs have blown 8 saves this year. They have a terrible bullpen, bad defense. They need a complete overhaul, the Cubs. A lot of work to be done here. Number 4, the Milwaukee Brewers, 14 and 16. I mean, Loesch has only allowed 13 runs the whole season. I mean, that's amazing. He's only given up 13 runs the whole year, Loesch, so he's pitching well. Milwaukee's up and down. Couldn't win a game, then went on that huge winning streak. Now they're on a losing streak again. Milwaukee, too inconsistent. Number 3, Cincinnati, they're 18 and 15. How about you? 331 average. I think Cincinnati's got a good ball club. They're going to be up there, the whole way in this division. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they're 17 and 14. 2 and 4 last week, not good last week. A.J. Burnett has been good. Pirates have some decent players. I like McCutchen. I like Pittsburgh. Now remember, Pittsburgh had a decent start last year and they fell apart. We'll see if they can stay up there without falling apart this year. Right now, doing a decent job, second place. And number 1, the St. Louis Cardinals, 20 and 11, 6 straight wins. How good has their pitching been this year? Without Carpenter, Carpenter is going to miss the whole season. Their pitching has been tremendous. St. Louis, just one of those classic teams. I said it over and over again. They always find a way. They're kind of like the Yankees. They're always up there, always in the mix. Great job by St. Louis this year. Pitching staff has been tremendous, especially the starters. That is your National League Central. Over to your National League West we go. Last place, and I never thought I'd say it, the LA Dodgers are in last place, 13 and 18. They are hitting .222 with runners in scoring position. The Dodgers are getting guys on base. They just can't get them in. And then all the injuries. H. Ramirez back on the DL. I mean, Lilly back on the DL. Billingsley out for the year. Greinke's still out another few weeks. Kemp only has 1 home run. Ethy is struggling. I mean, Don Mattingly has to be on the hot seat. The Dodgers spent a fortune in the offseason. Last place, I mean, they're behind the Padres. I thought for sure the Padres would be in last place the whole season. Dodgers are behind the Padres. Don Mattingly, watch out. Your job could be on the line. Dodgers, last place, sputtering right now. Number 4, San Diego. They're 14 and 18, 8 and 3 in their last 11 games. Tough schedule coming up. San Diego's starting to show some life. I mean, 8-3 in their last 11 is nothing to sneeze about. Only 4 games under 500. I don't expect a lot from San Diego. They have played better. Number 3, Arizona. They are 17-15. Here's a stat for you. 24 defensive runs saved by the Arizona defense. That's tops in Major League Baseball. Arizona doing a decent job. I like the manager. I like Goldschmidt. They got some nice young pieces to work with. Arizona 17-15. Number 2, Colorado 18-13. They continue to play well. No one thought Colorado would be this decent. I thought they'd be maybe a mediocre team, playing a little above expectations right now. We'll see if the pitching can continue to be good. We know the hitting's going to be there. And we know the hitting's going to be there as long as Tulowitzki stays healthy, and they got Gonzalez. Can the pitching keep it up? So far, it's been decent this year. And number 1, the San Francisco Giants, as usual, leading the Western Division. They're 19-13. We know they can pitch. Sandoval on absolute fire. How good of a player is Buster Posey? The Giants are the cream of the National League West until proven otherwise. So that is where you are in your Major League Baseball State of the Union. We're still very early in the baseball season. Got a long way to go for the baseball. That's where you are right now, though. As far as Tuesday, what to watch tonight, we got 2 big NBA playoff games tonight. We got Game 2 between Indiana and the Knicks. Indiana is up 1-0. Indiana stole Game 1 in the Garden. This is a must-win for the Knicks. Knicks have to win Game 2 in the Garden tonight. Can't lose both games at home. I think the Knicks will respond tonight. I will be absolutely shocked. I will be more shocked tonight if the Knicks lose than I was last night when the Bulls beat the Heat. Knicks should win this game tonight. I mean, come on. You can't lose both games at Madison Square Garden. And here's another thing about this series. They play Game 2 tonight. They don't play Game 3 till Saturday. 4 days off? I mean, what's that all about? I mean, you know the problem with that is? Tonight's game, I think, is on TNT. Then after that, we go to ABC. ABC, I guess, wants a certain schedule. They want it on certain days, so they want it on Saturday night. 4 days off till the next game after tonight. So enjoy the game tonight, because you're not going to see this series till Saturday. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you have to play a game Thursday, then Saturday. You can't have 4 days off here. Ridiculous. I mean, I know the NBA wants a game every day, and ABC wants to coordinate. Come on. 4 days off between Game 2 and Game 3. Ridiculous. Knicks must win tonight. I think they will win tonight. Also tonight, Game 2, Oklahoma City and Memphis. Oklahoma City came back and beat Memphis the other day, so Oklahoma City is up 1-0. Memphis had their chances to win that game. Memphis led a lot of this game the other day. This is a very interesting game. I could see it going either way. Oklahoma City is not the same team without Westbrook. Very interesting game tonight. I could go either way on this game. All right, as far as your NHL tonight, you have 4 big NHL playoff games. You have Montreal at Ottawa. This is Game 4. Ottawa is up 2-1. Remember the last game, Ottawa won at home, and there was a billion fights in the game. Coaches were snapping at each other. I mean, there was like 4 billion penalty minutes. We'll see what the story is tonight. I mean, this is a very important game for Montreal. Can't afford to go down 3-1. Very, very nice game, Montreal-Ottawa tonight. Also tonight, Pittsburgh and the Islanders at the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. Pittsburgh leads 2-1 after their win the other day. I mean, Islanders got to win. Can't drop both home games. Islanders want any chance to win this series. Got to win tonight. Also tonight, Chicago at Minnesota. Chicago's up 2-1. Minnesota won the last game. Once again, must win for Minnesota. You know, you can't go down 3-1 here. Minnesota needs this game the worst way. And then you have the Vancouver-San Jose series. In San Jose tonight, Game 4. San Jose's up 3-0. I mean, Vancouver is so lost in the playoffs. I mean, they didn't address their goalie situation. They start Luongo, then they pull Luongo. They put Schneider in. He's awful. They put Luongo back in. Neither one of them is good. Neither one of them is clutch in the playoffs. Luongo's been bad. Schneider's been bad. They've been bad for the last few years. Vancouver didn't do anything to change it, and now they're stuck with this, and now they're going to be swept right out of the playoffs. What a terrible job by the Canucks. They had a decent regular season, had the 3rd seed. I mean, what a horrible performance by them. And give San Jose credit. They've had some terrible performances in the playoffs themselves. They look really good in this series, so nice job by San Jose. So that's kind of where you are in your NHL tonight. So you got 2 big NBA playoff games tonight, 4 big NHL games, and of course you have your Major League Baseball like you always do every day. Okay, so you guys are all set. You guys, thanks for bearing with me. As you can see, my voice is still shot. We are going now on 11 days that I have been sick. I mean, starting to feel a little better. I have the remnants still. I mean, my nose is still stuffed. You know, my ears are clogged. My voice is still shot. Still have the remnants of being sick. Slowly but surely I'm getting there, though. But this is going on 11 days. Terrible. Anyway, you guys, thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for the support. Stay safe. Enjoy the games tonight. And we're going to recap all of it tomorrow. So I will be back with you guys Wednesday. You guys enjoy the games. I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.